Yeah, like
All right.
let's just lighten up lighten it up a bit and then let's talk about the trending topics.
Yeah.
So so I just go out there on the internet, compile some trending topics. I did this last month as well. We just want to have like a little bit, as we are in the engineering field, we just want to talk about what's going around in the technology world. So the first trending topic, right, that I like to talk about is the idea of folding phones. If you guys are in the tech YouTube scene, maybe social media scene, you may have stumbled upon Marcus Brownlee tweet where he talked about how uh, foldable phones compared to electrical cars. So I think I found that a lot fascinating in the sense that how the future on these two completely different things, right, matches with the with how the technology is going to be going ahead. So like the first thing comparison he made was the Tesla. So the Tesla brand being like the Galaxy Fold. So he said that it's the most evolved so far, but still pretty expensive. Then he talked about the Porsche Taycan that's compared to the Z Flip. It's
Mhm.
traditional form factor, but adding new tech, and the Chevy Bolt being like the Surface Duo or the Razr phone. So the the thing he mentions in this is like it's still first gen, expensive, but still the future. So like I just want you guys' opinion on like these new things coming out like last month. I know Suha wasn't here, but if you said you watched the podcast, so we talked about the robot, right? It being
Mhm.
really expensive, right? But it's still the future. So like I just want you guys' opinion on this comparison.
Shashwat, can I also know when he posted it?
He posted September 5th.
September 5th,
September
I
5th,
believe,
Okay.
right?
All right.
I think a good question to start off with is, do we really want this kind of a technology back? Because
Mm-hmm.
like one thing in in the technological world that we're in right now, like as we advance, we're supposed to move forward, right? This is more of a not really a step back, because obviously it's like it has the screen, it has all the functions that we currently have on our
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
nowadays. But like, why? Like the why factor is there, right? Why do we need it, right? Like, yes, there's a compatibility, like it's compact, right? More portable, like it takes up less space, I'm guessing, when you fold it,
Yep.
and all those like features are there. But then why do we want to take a step back in design, is my question. I think we should answer that.
It's
Is that like something we all want to do?
it's really weird. Me and my friends were actually talking about this, like how we were actually wanting the flip phones to come back. Um, I don't know, like at least what we were talking about was like how it was mainly the compactness. Also it's like this might be a little bit off topic, but it's it's kind of well, girl pockets in jeans are very, very, very tiny. Like they're very small. So just like that, I think we just wanted something. We were complaining about the size of our phones these days and how big they are. It was just kind of impractical for us. It's kind of impractical for us to like hold our phone all the time. So we were just talking about how convenient it is to just like, just slide, just like have the phone in our pockets all the time instead of holding it. But
Like I would just like to, yeah, mention something about the size. The Galaxy Fold is probably the biggest and like the
yeah,
most chunky
exactly.
phone you'll have. But the Z Flip is where it excels a lot. The Z Flip is like it folds into half, right?
Yeah,
So so for example, you have your phone right now and you just basically fold it into half and it becomes half. Like that's where like that's the market for people that are looking for more compact sizes and more like convenience factor. Like it has a lot of convenience factor as well. So I really get the point where like a lot of people have like different opinions. So like for example, Phil has opinion of like it's still old technology.
yeah,
So why go back to it if we already have passed from that point, right?
It's not just the old technology factor. It's like because we're modernizing an old design with new technology, right? So like we're in the stages of like OLED screens, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And OLED screens, like you already know, it's already like it's expensive, right? That's why like iPhones, for example, have their two different lines of phones, one with LCD screens and one with OLED screens, right? So incorporating the folding aspect into a phone on an OLED screen, just imagine the price. Because I was just looking into like the Galaxy, the what was it called? The Galaxy Fold, right?
Yeah.
The Z Flip, I think. Yeah, the Galaxy Z Flip. Like for a 256 gigabyte phone, it's around $2,000. So just for the compact, like I get what Suha's saying in terms of like
Yeah.
from the girl's perspective, right? Having a phone that fits the pocket and stuff like that. But then there are phones nowadays, like iPhones, for example, or Samsung phones for $1,000, 1,200, right? That
Mhm.
serves the same purpose. But just for the folding concept, you got to pay another 1,000 on top,
I do agree.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. I do agree that like some of the phone, like for an example, I'm not gonna lie, the Galaxy Fold does seem a little bit like not crazy, but like it seems like it does way too much for a phone. Like it expands into this like mini tablet type of size, and then like is it really a phone at that point? I feel like I feel like
Yeah.
now there's like this huge how do I say this ambiguity with like the definition of a phone. There's like what how many lenses on that thing? Like four, three, like three of those.
Too many.
And yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like
there's
3 or 4. Yeah.
it's like and then when you expand it, it's like what is it now? Is it a phone? Is it a tablet? Like there's just so much I feel like the Galaxy Fold is like the most ambiguous phone.
In terms of the sizing wise, I think all brands are just going like they have no limits in terms of the sizing. Every year they're just releasing bigger and bigger phones, right? Like yes,
Mhm.
this is like we're talking about the folds, but like even normal phone sizes, right? The next iPhone's coming out with 4 cameras, and it's going to be bigger, right? So as Suha mentioned, like at what point do we say, okay, now this is no longer a phone, this is a tablet we're walking around with in our pockets,
It's so
right?
interesting to say that because like let's think about this like when we were younger, right? Like maybe like a almost like yeah 1.5 decade ago, like if we looked at a phone back then, it was like this small compact small screen with like a keypad, and you'd punch in the numbers and just it was just for calling. And now like you can take pictures, like it's something that it's so unimaginable compared to that time. Like you can like back then it maybe had like a phone camera, right? But like now you can like there's people that do photography with their camera. There's you can take notes on your phone, you can record voice, you can play games. Like you have a whole like expendable like there's a whole market alone in the software industry just for phones. It's not just hardware anymore.
For sure. Like since you made the comparison like a couple of years ago, like the phones were like 4 inches or like around that range.
Yeah,
And now we're getting into the phones which are nearing like 7 inches. Right?
exactly.
Like
So like
the Note is like 6'9".
yeah, like the iPhone 11 Pro, for example, the max versions, they're like 6.4, 6.5 almost, right? Like a few years ago, we would have never imagined like holding a tablet against our head to talk to someone. But now it's coming to this age and era where it's normal. It's a
Yeah,
normal thing now, right?
let alone even like just even like touching a piece of glass to like make a call, like the screen itself, like a touch screen. I think it was just if you like the whole BlackBerry thing, right, where uh they didn't take care of like the whole like copyright situation, and Apple the idea, like I think it was just overlooked so far at that time, but now it's just like a means of life. Like we definitely just like click away on our phones and we don't even think about how far it's come.
Man, I remember being in grade 4, pulling up with the Nokia and vibing to like the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo soundtrack.
Yeah,
Bro, you had a Nokia in grade
Yeah.
4?
Bro, I was vibing, bro.
I couldn't imagine a phone being
I don't want to go back to the foldable flex because I don't
Nah,
think that's a thing.
like when you said grade 4, I actually remember like since I was in Kuwait, right? Like the phones like there, like at that time, my dream phone at that time in those ages, like grade 3, grade 4, was like the keypad phones.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember
Yes,
the
sir.
Nokia keypad phones. Like it was a goal for me to get those, and those were like probably in Canadian dollars. It was like $4. It was like 4 Canadian dollars, but like it was like the dream to get that, right?
You're the
And now,
coolest kid in the block if you
and
had
now,
one of those.
and now we walk around with like fully OLED screens and like no buttons, barely any buttons, and like becoming paper thin by the day.
It's insane. Like even like emoticons, do you remember like manually typing in like a colon and then like a half bracket? And
Uh-huh,
then
uh-huh.
and now we're at like animojis or like where it can literally like take like even what filters, like it's insane. Like how like just within like the few years we've just like come so far.
I think this talk was really fascinating because like Philip had one point where like we're going back to old technology, like the electrical cars aspect comes into this, right? So Philip had an opinion where he does not like foldable phones, but some people also have that opinion where they don't like electrical cars and they prefer normal cars. So it just brings back to that great tweet, right? So now let's go into the next trending topic, something that's going all around us, uh, coronavirus. So we just want
Rona time.
we're just in the middle of a pandemic. So we just wanted to talk about the potential vaccine being made. So there has been a lot of vaccine like companies going out there that are making the coronavirus vaccines, claiming to be in some stages, claiming to not be in some stages. And then also like a lot of controversy that has been going through. Like there's been some companies that are banning trials right now in different parts of the world.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to your guys' opinion. Like, what do you guys think about this vaccine race and how it's going to be distributed, and if the testing goes wrong, what happens? So yeah.
I recently read the government of Canada like enabled like gave authorization to a few companies that are behind this vaccine race, and also like I think someplace in America or Canada, I'm not sure exactly, but like they were giving fundings, like couple $1 million fundings to like promote the race and like to increase the rate at which we're trying to find the vaccine. Personally speaking, I think yeah, finding the vaccine is good. Shouldn't be a race because we need it to be done properly, because like you did mention what happens if the testing goes wrong, right? Like yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a virus that's mutating itself so fast, right? To the point where like we might have a vaccine tomorrow made for coronavirus, right? But then in like 2 months it might become useless, right? I think we need to like think about the bigger picture and be prepared for any kind of outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like, see, personally speaking, when it becomes a race, I become competitive, and like I don't think about the consequences and the side effects of me taking shortcuts, right? But obviously, it's not the same in the medical field. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's trying to find like the proper vaccine, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also think even if we did find the not cure, but like the vaccine, I think the question becomes like how fast can we get this out? Like um it just feels like there, if we think about it, like there's 7 billion people on this planet. Like how it's going to be so hard to like get every single person to be vaccinated. And I don't know, I just think it's also, yeah, it just becomes a question of when can like when can we not resume our lives as they were, but like will it ever end? Like you said, like it's evolving, right?
I think the question then that has to be answered before we answer the question you just brought up is who all gets it, because
Yeah, who gets the yeah.
like yeah, because 7 billion people are there on earth, yes, but then even like look at, like, it's completely off topic, but like poverty, for example, 7 billion people exist, there's food for everyone, people have them, like there are people in this world that own enough finances to like help everyone out, right? But still not everyone gets the privilege. So I think it's going to be, I'm not sure how the splitting up will work and like how the spread of the vaccines will work, but I'm pretty sure that all 7 billion people on this planet will not get the privilege.
Yeah.
We'll make Big Boy Bezos pay for it.
I mean, I think unfortunately, I think there will be some capitalism involved. Like I feel like isn't there like I don't know if it's like the flu virus, like just like the flu in general. Like is the flu vaccine paid in some countries? I think it might be, right? So maybe there will be some capitalism involved. Like I don't think everyone's gonna be fortunate enough, like you said, to like maybe get the vaccine.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty sure that there's not a lot of countries that have universal healthcare. So I do believe most of those
America.
most of those are definitely like definitely like a paid for service.
And even after that, another topic we should like another element of this would be the anti-vacciners.
Yeah.
Vaxxers, I guess is the right word. Currently, some people call it a hoax. Some people claim the government's just doing this to gain power. Some people actually believe it, right? So like when people with different viewpoints exist, right, on this one concept of COVID-19, like how many people would be willing to, whether it be free or paid,
I mean,
like take the
there
vaccine?
there was so much backlash just for prevention purposes. Like, I mean, it was so like just to wear a mask. Like, people were going so far to like go out and protest and like maybe even worsen the pandemic. Like, I don't know, like, and just like so much like misinformation out there on the market. It's just, I just think there will be people like that for sure. I think it's gonna definitely cause more problems because just for the masks alone, there was so much backlash from other people, like from people, I think, on that same spectrum.
Yeah, but in that case, isn't that kind of just inevitable?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure for
exactly.
everything there would be people that disagree to it, right?
Yeah, I think it definitely is inevitable. That's what I meant. Like, it's just gonna happen for sure. There's no working around it. But yeah, I don't know how. Like, it's just like this pandemic really showed. I feel like for me at least, it showed me how it's just, like this whole world is. We're taught to like. I just think that there's gonna be a lot of backlash, like you said, and yeah, it's inevitable. I also like this the pandemic in general showed me how unprepared the world can be at, like we're always taught to be we're taught to be very prepared and like prepared for every situation in school, like just plan ahead, but like just at a time like this, I think it's just there's like no way to plan for things, and we need to start being more prepared as like altogether for unexpected issues like these.
I 100% agree with you. Things in life are kind of inevitable when it comes to specific things, and things are not always in our control, and that's how life is.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that being said, that is all the content we have to cover for today. So Suha, is there any last words you would like to say before we end it off?
Stay cool, I guess. I don't know.
All right, stay cool. We'll go with that.
Thanks. Stay cool.
So, yes.
We will put links in our description to platforms where you can connect and talk to Suha if you guys want to know more about her. And if you would like to listen to more of our stuff, check us out at Start Enterprises on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast. If you have anything you're really dying to ask or have a guest idea that you want to see featured on the podcast, shoot us a DM at _Stark Enterprises. We got a new name, by the way. Want to get to know our projects a bit better? Check out our website in the link on our Instagram bio. With that, I am Mevin Matthew. With me was
Philip
and
Joshua.
and hosting our guest,
Suha.
that is Suha. And this has been Start Talk.
peace.